Good evening and welcome to the Zoning Board of Appeals meeting for the town of Eastchester. This is the October meeting. It's Tuesday, October 8th, 2024. We begin our meetings with the Pledge of Allegiance. Please rise. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, while we settle in, I usually take this time to go over the ground rules, and particularly toward the end of the year, our 2024 calendar is drawing close to a close. So, as I mentioned in the last couple of meetings, the 2025 calendar is out, it's online, and if you are contemplating an application, please bear in mind that as a term and condition of any new application, they are not decided first time on. Some of the ground rules for tonight's meeting: we observe Robert's Rules of Parliamentary Order, which essentially means that action is taken based upon motion, resolution, and vote. And for new matters on, and we have one tonight, I don't ask the applicants to read their application because the matter and all of the exhibits and application are marked submitted, and they're a public record. So I'll ask you to summarize again. If you feel it's important, you may read the application. It doesn't really affect your application one way or another. It's not going to help or hurt your application. Also, we do not accept any new correspondence once the public hearing has closed. As kind of an offshoot during the COVID era, many people were emailing and not attending. We were having remote meetings. So emails come in and they are printed and made a part of the public record, but once the public hearing is closed, nothing else can be accepted at that time. Tonight we have a 4-member board. Mr. Miller is absent this evening, so just to bear in mind that on applications, an approval would be 4-0 or 3-1. A 2-2 vote would be what's known as a default denial. All right, so as far as agenda items tonight, there are 2 pending matters that have been marked adjourned on consent. Application number 23-30, that's 249 Main Street and 27 New Street. That's been adjourned on consent to the November 12, 2024 meeting. And application 24-14, 6 Sprague Road, that's also been adjourned to the November 12, 2024 meeting. Okay, next item of business, I'm going to make a motion to approve the minutes of the September 10th, 2024 meeting. Is there a second to my motion?
Second it.
Mr. Cahalan, all in favor? Aye. Okay, those minutes have been approved. Okay, now, on to our resolution calendar. We have 3 items on the calendar, and one of those applications has 2 parts to it. So let's start. I make a motion to adopt the resolution granting the requested variances as submitted in application 24-27, that's 360 White Plains Road. Is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Cahalan, to the vote. Mr. Cahalan?
Yes.
Mr. Conway?
Yes, as to the setback, no as to the fence.
Okay. Mr. Weber?
Yes, as to both.
As to both, and I vote.
Well, 360 White Plains Road is the parking space and the,
Oh, I'm sorry, yes.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, that was,
View is the 2.
I should have
Talking
caught
about the
that as
fence
well.
on the 4 foot for 6?
Sorry.
Yes.
Correct. Sorry. Yes,
That's okay.
yes.
Okay.
That one.
And Mr. Weber's yes, and I vote yes. No, that's okay. That application has been approved 4-0. Okay, I make a motion to adopt the resolution granting requested variances as submitted for application 24-24. That's 27 Summit Street subdivision. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Mr. Cahalan, to the vote, Mr. Cahalan.
I will vote yes.
Yes, Mr. Conway.
Yes.
Mr. Weber?
Yes.
I vote yes. That application has been approved 4-0. Next item is a 2-part bifurcated resolution. The first, I make a motion to adopt the resolution granting the rear yard setback variance for the proposed garage as submitted for application 24-3362 Grand Boulevard. Is there a second?
I will second that.
Mr. Cahalan. Back to the vote. Mr. Cahalan?
I will vote yes on that.
Mr. Conway?
I will vote yes as to the setback, no as to the fence height.
Okay. Mr.
I'll
Weber?
vote yes to that.
And I vote yes. So as it relates to the garage, that has been approved 4-0. Now, the second part is a motion I make a motion to adopt the resolution granting the fence height variance for the proposed fence to the side yard as submitted in application 24-33, 62 Grand Boulevard. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Mr. Weber, to the vote. Mr. Cahalan?
I'll vote no.
Mr. Conway, I believe you're voting no? Yes. Mr. Weber?
We'll vote yes.
I vote yes. The application is, it's what's known as a default denial. Okay, so we have one matter on for new business. That's application 24-38. This is 54 Stewart Place, and no further seeker review is required. It's a type 2 action. Name and address for the record, and please proceed.
Sure. Good evening, Board. Adal Majorano from Community Designs and Engineering. On behalf of the applicant and owner, Daniel Fitzgerald, we are proposing a rear in-ground pool at 54 Stewart Place. I'll just explain the project. Hopefully this time the 5-part test was very thorough in explaining the idea of the project and everything, but I would try to summarize it as best I can, because there's some, parts to it going on. So basically, this site, it slopes to the rear. There's a flat section, as you can see in the pictures. What's a little different with this site is when it was built, there was a stone wall put in that was really offset from the property line, not really against the property line. So it's like 3 feet on one side and 6 feet on the other, so it limits, the backyard. Then there's also very mature evergreens along the rear yard and left side yard that we're trying to salvage because it creates a very nice buffer from the, neighbors and the applicants using the pool. So in trying to position an, enjoyable size pool, nothing, massive, it's 14 by 19, we looked at trying to, fit it on a rectangle across the rear yard. That ended up really taking up so much of the rear yard, and we still needed a rear yard variance and a variance to this covered concrete deck. So basically, there's a deck here with the columns. That's where we're asking for that variance. It's not exactly the solid structure of the house. It's an open structure. It's a concrete deck. So we're asking for a variance of 6.5 feet where you need 10 feet from technically, again, the house, but it's a column of the concrete deck. And the second variance is the side yard where you need 10 feet. We're at 7.5 feet. And in doing so, we are still 10 feet from the actual solid structure of the house and 10.5 feet from the rear yard. Again, the pool is positioned so that, yes, we don't sort of destroy the evergreens that we're trying to maintain. As far as impervious, the property is existing non-conforming with respect to the impervious is over what is allowed. So what we're trying to do is remove that the applicants don't really use this walkway at all. So there's quite a bit of area. So we're going to remove the walkway on the left side property going towards the deck in the back, and then just create a very small sort of little patio next to the pool, and the rest of it's just going to be all grass around it, other than the coping of the pool. Basically where we're asking for the variance, again, the evergreens are along that side, and the rear yard where there is none, there's a solid white fence, but again, the pool is pushed far away from that right side yard setback, and we have the pool equipment there with some screening around it as well, because we're very limited to where we can put the pool equipment. And yeah, lastly, I did meet with Tom Pintaval from the fire department, and he did have any problem with, the fire department having to get back there and access the ladders in the rear yard with the pool being positioned, where it is because of the setback to the concrete deck.
Mr. Pintaval confirmed that with the planning department too.
Thank you.
And that pretty much explains it.
Okay, thank you for your presentation. This time, I usually open to the board for questions or comments. Mr. Cahalan?
I was going to comment, Mr. Morano, that yes, this is the work that you usually submit. Okay. I was very happy to see this from you, and I have no questions.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Mr. Conway?
I have no questions.
Mr. Weber?
No questions.
I don't have anything either. I make a motion to open this matter to the public hearing. Is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Cahalan, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, seeing no one present to come forward, I'll make a motion to close the public hearing on this matter.
I'll
Mr.
second
Cahalan,
that.
second, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, just to the board, because it's my obligation. Mr. Cahalan?
Thank you, but still nothing.
Mr. Conway?
No questions.
Mr. Weber?
Nothing.
Just that I think you've answered to my satisfaction the 5-part test, and particularly that the setup and the uniqueness of the yard and your ability to mitigate impervious surfaces seems to fit well into the community. So I have nothing other than to make a motion to adjourn this for resolution at the next meeting. Is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Galen, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, thank you for your presentation.
Thank you.
Okay, while you're taking down your presentation, papers from the easel, I have only one item left, and that's that I make a motion to adjourn our October meeting, and our next meeting will be Tuesday, November 12th, 2024. Is there a second to my motion?
Second.
Mr. Galen, all in favor?
Aye.
Good night.
Aye.